You can add your feelings. Let everyone know how you feel.
Vent. You can vent. Rant all you want.
Hello, everyone.
Use my soapbox.
Yeah. Get up there and start complaining. Be like me. Be like me.
You don't want to hear my complaints. I'm pissed off at my professor right now and my advisor because they're not getting back to me. Now I have a late assignment because they won't get back to me. I've emailed them 3 times, and I'm in pain because of my wrist still. So, yeah.
That doesn't sound...
Get that wrist looked at.
Yeah, because it's been hurting for almost 3 weeks now.
Oh, yeah, that's too long.
And it's getting worse.
I don't believe her. I think she's just trying to get workman's comp. And you'll find in your IndieVolt contract there's no workman's comp. No.
It's been shooting her bowling score.
So. Yeah. We've been joined by our guest. He's in the green room. We're gonna bring him in. And then I guess I'll roll the intro, then bring him in.
You're gonna leave him there?
Let's bring him in. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry, hey I scheduled back-to-backs and I rolled over a little bit, but I am here, and thank you so much for having me.
No problem. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you.
This will be fun. If you've never seen the show before, prepare for a great time.
I am here more. I am here more for the good times than to plug my book. I know that people get tired after listening to the same plug over and over, so I'm just here to enjoy my time with you guys.
Sweet. All good.
I'm going to roll the intro, Randy. Here we go.
All right. Hang on, everybody.
We'll come back and introduce ourselves. Here we go.
The following program contains violence, disturbing imagery, nudity, and, oh my God, why are you even watching this? Just run away. This shit is going to give you nightmares. For real. The program is rated TV MA NSFW OMFG GAF TTV BYGAS. Why are you still here? Seriously, don't watch this. We can't warn you strongly enough. Do you need a doctor of some kind? What is the matter with you?
The difference is clear. It's a revolt the masses will hear. If they vote, let the people cheer. It's beautiful. The blood, the blood starts here.
In the indie comic book industry, the community is represented by 2 separate yet equally important groups: the talent, who create the entertainment, and the customers, who criticize the worst offenders. The staff at IndieVolt is especially equipped to handle these situations. These are their stories.
That was fantastic.
That is funny.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to IndieVolt LiveWire. Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. That means that's our time, right? That's right, 9 o'clock. Can't be late. I'm Varian Grant, the founder of IndieVolt Media LLC. I've been making comics since 2008. I'm a comic book illustrator, creator, publisher, distributor, father, geek, gamer, husband, all that good stuff. Reluctant taxpayer. And this, of course, is IndieVolt LiveWire. I'm joined, as always, by the beautiful Indie Princess. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Everyone knows how I am already. I already did my rant. But yes, I am Lola, the Indie Princess, and I am the EIC over at indievolt.com. And I do a whole bunch of other stuff.
Whole bunch of other stuff.
Publisher, creator, writer, mom, wife. Yeah, all that good stuff. I do it all.
You wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
And she has a lot of shoes, too.
I do. I'll bring the shoe cam back soon.
Everybody misses the shoe cam.
Once my wrist heals and I can actually put on shoes, then I will bring it back.
Awesome. Hey, everybody out there. I'm Randy Zimmerman. I am a longtime alternative and independent comic producer, creator, publisher. I have done just about everything in this industry that you can imagine, and a lot of it since before most of you were born. I am an everything-er in the business, ran conventions for over 10 years, retailed for over 10 years. That means dealing with Diamond and all that wonderful crap. Right now, I'm producing comics. And I'm working real hard on bringing Aero Comics 4.0 back out to the direct market with at least 4 products every month available for their purchase and your purchase through exclusively through Liberty Entertainment Distributors. So looking forward to doing that. Real happy to be here and part of the Indie Volt Radio Network. Take it, Eric.
Awesome. My name is Eric Hodson. I'm the Dreaded Dinosaur Man. Creator of Dreaded Dinosaur Man over on Webtoon. Also co-creator of the Roddy Piper Kilted Avenger comic book, which you can get at ProWrestlingTees.com. And I am holed up in a safe house somewhere tonight without my usual accoutrements around me. Having a good time traveling on the road and ready for another round of Indie Volt with some cool questions. Well, I mean, at least questions. We'll find out if they're cool in a moment.
All right, so I guess it's my turn now.
Yes.
Hey, so my name is Stefan Velez, otherwise known as Owasi V, and I am the creator and writer of The Veil Walker, currently live on Indiegogo.
I took a look at the Veil Walker when Eric sent it to me. That's a good looking book. I can't wait to talk to you about it. So first thing we do on the show is we always introduce ourselves, which you've done. But now we got to go to the questions, because every week we get questions. Sometimes I get backed up. A lot of questions. This week,
sometimes he gets backed up without questions.
Yeah. Oh, man, I don't want to. And I get all irritable.
Sometimes the questions just induce backing up.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I think Chipotle will help you with that.
So we got 3 questions. I got 2 of them. We're gonna go to a good one though. This is the one that got me riled up today.
Everybody in trouble?
Yeah. Randy, I'll let you read it. Here we go. I'm going to share the screen on this question right now. Go ahead.
Screwed with no prep check. Thanks for writing in. Signed the contract. Check. Completed work before deadline. Check. Work submitted. Double check. Didn't get paid because the company got sold with debt, and I've just drawn 140 free. I just drawn 140 free pages. Oh, buddy.
Ouch.
Yes, it's in my contract. If the company sells, what? Oh, even worse. Yes, it's in my contract. If the company sells, they won't owe me. Screwed with you with no prep. Check.
Wow.
That sucks.
You got to get you always got to get it reviewed, man. Review those contracts.
That's beyond a screw job, buddy. Everybody here at Indie
You're gonna be
Volt
walking
honestly
funny for
feels
the rest
for
of
you.
your life.
At least for a few months.
You
won't be walking for a few months.
Probably.
Can I be horrible for a second and just allow me to just what if that was the company's goal?
A second.
Yeah. What if that was the company's goal? Like, he sold it to his friend for
Pops is right. He sold it to his friend for $1.
Yeah. What if that was my goal? Like, hey man, I'm gonna put this predatory clause in this contract, get this fool to draw all the pages, and then ghost them. And I'll say I sold the company. Sorry, not my fault.
Well, 140 pages.
It's a lot of work.
That's way that describing it as a lot of work doesn't quite describe it.
No.
That's about a year's worth of output right there. That's a good 10 issues. No, not 10 issues, 7 issues at least worth of material. 140 pages, right? That would be a big, incredibly large graphic novel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
that'll be almost twice the size of what most graphic novels are passing for nowadays.
Oh, well, I don't want to suggest anything illegal here, but That contract, if it screwed you like that, it's probably null and void, dude. I would take those 140 pages, find somebody to re-script them, re-letter them, and kick them out on your own.
Mm.
It's something else.
no
Just
doubt.
call it something different.
Yeah. Make some edits. Change the characters around. Hey, they didn't pay you for it.
Turn it into the most hilarious parody book that you've ever read. And kick that sucker back out, picking on the character. We used to do that for Fantastic Fanzine. We would have potential artists send us 6 pages of superhero continuity. We'd send them what the character looked like. They'd send us back a short story, and then we would, on a Friday night usually, with a few beers and whatever other substances, this was back in the 80s, that we had on hand, go through and write the funniest Mel Brooks style dialogue that we've ever read on a comic page and print that in a Fantastic Fanzine.
That's wild. Listen, I have seen some predatory contracts come my way before. That luckily I have gotten the someone to tell me, hey, bro, don't do that. For example, I'll tell you the one that most recently came in, and this is a shame that these things are actually happening in comic books and to independent creators. Someone offered me, I think it was $15 a page, to put the Veil Walker on their app. Basically, no revenue splits, no view splits. It was just, here's $15, and we'll exclusively. And they had the exclusive right for digital marketing for the Veil Walker, and they can also print books as well. And all they were going to give me was $15 a page after they were done. And luckily, I said no, obviously. But there have been some others, and guys, there's some predatory contracts out there. Make sure you read them.
Oh yeah, read them, go through them line by line. If you don't understand, go to your own lawyer, own independent lawyer. Don't ask their lawyer. Ask your own independent lawyer. Hey, what's that mean? Because man, I've seen some strange things in contracts.
And I think Pops might have a good point there in the chat where he said he sold the company to his friend for $1. He might have meant to do this. The company might have done this on purpose intentionally, especially if that clause was conveniently in that contract. So you might, if you haven't had a lawyer look at that contract, you might, it might be worth your while to have a lawyer go through that contract, because it's probably null and void to start with.
Yeah.
At which point you have 140 pages of your hard work that you can, turn to your advantage.
That question just gave me some ideas for some clause I'm gonna put into my next artist contract.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No. Hey, if the company goes out of business, I might still be owed, yo. Let's see here.
It's never good to hear that any artist was screwed, especially like that. That seems especially heinous, as your Law and Order would say.
Ding ding.
Yeah, you need to get that soundbite.
Yeah. Here we go. The next question.
Removed by request. Thanks for writing in. I partnered with a guy on KS. I'm on ITG. Yeah. KS. I partnered with a guy on Kickstarter. I'm on Indiegogo. With a double up tier, you could buy my book in a bundle with his on his Kickstarter and the opposite on my Indiegogo. But it's been 18 months now and he hasn't fulfilled. He needs to send me books so I can send my backers out my title, but keep saying he's super busy and sick. Help.
Oh my gosh.
Well, how many of those?
Now I see why you opened the show with the Law and Order thing. Holy crap.
How many of those books are like yours by itself? Because can you get your backers fulfilled? And then figure out some way to send the backers that bought his book something extra. Explain to be very transparent. Hey, he hasn't sent me his books. Mine are ready to go. I want to send them to you. I'm going to at this point. I can't wait any longer. You have to apologize to your customer because they're getting upset. They're waiting. I don't know how long your customer's been waiting, but if they've been waiting 18 months, by now they are probably really salty with you.
Probably, yeah, and they probably all want to, salty would
Look,
describe it.
as someone who's run campaigns before, look, this whole 18 months thing to me sounds like the guy blew through his funds on something that wasn't the comic book. So I don't think this other guy's going to be getting those comic books anytime soon. I second your thing. Hey, fulfill your books, you know, and do whatever you got to do to make sure that you keep the people who helped you or backed his tier.
Mm-hmm.
Make them happy, but get your books out there, because honestly, I think you're going to be waiting another 18 months before you get any books from this guy.
If you're lucky.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would figure out something you can maybe send those people. If you got 22 people who back that particular tier, try to figure out what you can make 22 of that's gonna be comparable in value, and explain to those 20 people, hey, here's the problem, without throwing the other guy under the bus too much.
You don't know if he's been legitimately sick or if he's just lazy.
Right.
For 18
But
months.
18 months is a long time.
If you've been sick for 18 months, I think you got to get yourself checked out. You know.
Yeah.
You better be dead.
Checked out.
Yeah.
So he's 18 months. Like I was laid up for, what was it, 2? Was it 2 months?
2 days.
2 months. Yeah, I think it was 2 months. I was laid up with the last leg infection. But that was, 2 months compared to 18 months. That's a long time. Plus,
Definitely stop waiting for him, and hopefully you haven't transferred the money for his books over back to him.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's already happened.
Has
it? Might have.
So I was going to say, you might have to refund those books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
at this point, honestly, put out an update. Let them know what happened. Fulfill your books, and fulfilling his half of the portion falls on him. You know, it's been 18 months. At that point, bro, you got the funds. I'm gonna do my side. Your books are up to you now. At this point, that's wild.
I've seen people do that. I've seen campaigns do it, but they're normally on the same platform.
Right.
I've never seen them cross over, and maybe I have. I just wasn't paying attention. I've never seen partnerships between brands. I know it's not really the brands partnering, but you got a Kickstarter running. Hey, let me advertise my Indiegogo on your Kickstarter. You would think that might even be against policy, but unfortunately for this person here, they were.
It's an interesting tactic to do, and I wouldn't say that this is really a case to go against doing it, but you really want to make sure that you're partnering with somebody that's got a proven track record,
dependable.
So there's some sort of vetting going on here.
Yep.
Actually, wait. Now that I think about it, he said he's been sick for 18 months. Now I think we know where all those funds went to.
Mm-hmm.
So they're hospital bills.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a crazy hospital bill for you to get for 18 months. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm hearing I got my thing muted. Let's see how. Sorry about that. Okay, I get it. Okay. Sorry, my computer's giving me some issues. I think that the last one that we have here, actually, I got one from Indie Vote Radio. Well, I'll go to that one last, Randy. You're gonna really enjoy that one. You're gonna really, really enjoy that one.
Okay.
All right, but this one here, it's directed at Eric.
What?
No, it's not. It's not directed at Eric. It's not.
Oh, I thought it was finally relevant.
Finally to be relevant. How do you pronounce that name? Wii U? Yeah. How are you guys indie with ads and fancy sponsors? How are you guys indie with ads and fancy sponsors? I'm trying to get into the proper voice here. How are you guys indie with ads and fancy sponsors? The real indie spirit is renegade advocacy, guerrilla marketing, and publicity. Sellouts.
First off, fuck you. And jealous.
This question has been brought to you tonight by Too Hard.
You can never be too hard.
This question is brought to us in part by
Jealousy,
broadcast.
anger,
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't want to do the work, somebody
Yeah.
who has a very odd idea of what indie is.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
I almost said something to keep my mouth shut. Keep my mouth shut.
Why would you keep your mouth shut at this
I
point?
was gonna say
we're TVMA DLSV. Let it hang out.
No,
dude.
I was gonna say this message is brought to you in part by somebody with a free StreamYard account. I guarantee you. And
wait a minute, let me get my bell. There we are. Damn straight there.
Yeah.
You're only an artist if you're a starving artist.
Yeah. You have to know what hunger feels like.
You're a terrible business person. That's what
thank you so much for noticing our sponsors are fancy too.
They're fancy.
We like to think they're real fancy.
Yeah.
We're grateful. We're grateful they're here.
Time was sponsoring today's episode.
Oh, we got a lot of sponsors.
We do.
Yeah. Usually, we don't have commercials for all of them, but we do got
we have an internet radio. We have a wide reach. Do you know what our numbers are right now?
I'm booting that up right now. I should have
booting it up.
10 minutes.
Our sponsors that we don't have ads for are Mixum, Blick Art Materials, Gemini.
We have a card for Gemini.
Yeah.
They're a great sponsor. Look at that. Boom.
Speaking of Gemini, make sure that you do use Gemini. Make sure that you use code VOLT10 VOLT10 and save yourself 10% off your Gemini mailers when you order, because you need Gemini mailers. And also
not just a sponsor, but a caring, thrifty sponsor willing to give people discounts. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I got 200 Gemini mailers in my closet right now. Can I retroactively use that?
No, you have to use it on your way out the door, or you don't get it.
Like, oh man, I meant to use Volt 10. Come on,
my bad.
Yeah.
I ordered those mailers like 3 months ago.
Randy, I will play a sponsor. Here we go. Our first sponsor. Here we go.
This video is sponsored by Too Hard, the #1 natural erection formula. You can never be too hard.
If that's a real thing, I want 2 bottles.
It's a real thing.
Oh yeah, that's a real thing.
It's a dietary supplement.
That's what you call it.
You go over at what their website, and please only 18 and over only over on that website, because it does have adult content on it, because it is an adult item. But please go over there and honor our sponsor. Yeah, patronize our sponsor.
We also have. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So we also have Crayola and Stamps.com and Dr. Strains.
Awesome. What I was going to say with that,
STRAINS.
Yeah.
With that dietary supplement, that'll be the only one my girlfriend reminds me to take every single day.
There's one over there for her too. It's called Too Wet.
Yeah, they have them. Yeah,
Too Wet.
Gushy.
Because you can never be too wet.
Esteban says, asking as a noob to the indie comics realm, as writer creator who would need to commission all artwork for a project, what's a reasonable expectation to spend between sequentials, concepts, covers, and when is starting a
that's got to be a Kickstarter. Yeah,
most beneficial. Should the hard rule always be 100% artwork, complete inks, letters, colors, etc.?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that you can, if you're gonna like. Well, I'll let Eric. Eric's the artist. Eric's the journeyman artist.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that as a hard rule to make sure it's all complete. But you definitely need to know, again, kind of like what the track record of your team is. I really like, there's a few campaigns that my friends are running, namely Kimosabe, the company man. He's got a graphic that he updates periodically saying, okay, the interiors are at like 80% done, colors are 100% done, letters are, and he updates that graphic. And that's a really great way to inform your audience. Me personally, as a solo act for the Dreaded Dinosaur Man book, I'm probably going to wait till I'm almost 90% done with everything before I do a crowdfund, just because I know my own track record if I get caught up and busy with stuff and I don't want to fall behind. So I want to make sure and do that ahead of time. I also don't want to get the reputation that some of my peers do, where there's some people out there who still haven't delivered books, and it's been 2 years or so. With the Roddy Piper Kilted Avenger, we wanted to deliver February of 2020. That was our original plan. We ended up not being able to deliver until, gosh, I think it was August 2020, just because my schedule got hung up with conventions. The Indiegogo didn't produce as much money to just pay me to do the book. So I had to do the book when I had spare time, and I still had to do conventions to raise money. So that was a big setback. Fortunately, we had the pandemic, which closed everything down, and I actually got a crap ton of work done because I had nowhere to go. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. So I got that whole thing done in record time, finished it up. We got it to the printer and we got it delivered, and we were only, I think, 5 months late on that one. But still, for me personally, that's way too damn long. So I want to make sure that this thing is ready to go. The best example is the Iconic Comics people, Tim Lim and all those with Common America. Those books are pretty much 100% done before he goes. So like when you support one of their Kickstarters, you're going to get the book in the mail in a couple of months after that Kickstarter closes or that Indiegogo closes. And it's just how you want to build your reputation as well. If you want to build a reputation, you're going to do this over and over again. You need to make sure you're constantly fulfilling over and over again on time or ahead of time to build that reputation. If you're a one and done, I mean, do whatever you want. But if you want to keep doing this over and over again, you've got to have a track record that you can establish and maintain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, personally for us, we launched our Kickstarter a couple months ago. I would say, I think it was around May. We launched our Kickstarter and the book wasn't done. We had only gotten a few pages done for the Bellwalker. Then the Coof got some of our artists sick. Things got delayed. We actually wanted to deliver our Kickstarter campaign before we made the jump over to Indiegogo full time. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. But at least for the Indiegogo backers, we'll be fulfilling damn near in less than 30 days of the campaign closing. Because we've had so much time to get the book done and sort of figure everything out.
That's cool. Yeah. It's really easy to get behind on the books, and it's really easy to run into these little small problems that you don't see coming, especially if it's your first book. There's so many people. Lola noticed of her book that like she got all her print files in. She went to go drop the money off, like, here's my money, and then she was like, holy crap, paper costs are up. So that type of thing can really derail you. So be prepared. Talk to people who've done it. They'll usually we're all too happy to share our horror stories.
Yeah, for my book, I have to print in like little groups at a time because of the paper price that went up. So it sucks. But I still got to December to fulfill, so I'm not late yet.
Not yet. And Randy, you'll like this one. You'll love this one from Indie Vote Radio. So
I was going to say one thing I learned from running the Revolt campaign is to make sure you add an extra month or two on there, because you'd be amazed at the things that do spring up, and you don't want that appearance of being too late. Like that, like the letter before that, where he was 18 months in and hadn't sent out his book yet. You don't want to have that type of reputation, especially if you plan on doing this on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
From Indie Vote Radio, and this one, and you'll like this one. This one's from Cash. Cash with a Q. Q-A-S-H. Okay. Cash says, yeah. The Perry's okay. I'm gonna try to read this. I'm gonna try to read this in the least snarky voice I possibly can.
Is it a snarky email, or do you think it's serious?
No. It fits right in for our theme tonight.
Oh, okay. Oh boy.
Yeah. So, okay, this is from Cash. F all of that huge amounts for paper, getting your books printed. If you want to get your books printed cheap, take advantage of the foreign market. Okay, now get this. I'm going to continue. It is very easy to use my business account card and order 3,000 to 4,000 books from an overseas printer. Once I get them, of course, I sign, but then I call my credit card company back and claim it as a fraudulent charge. So Cash here has figured out how to screw the printer. So he's gotten 4,000 books for free.
He's gotten how many? Wait a minute. What?
4,000 books.
4,000 books he's gotten for free.
Yeah, for free.
Mhm.
Now that was pre-bug. After the bug, he says he was able to get from a different company in China.
It would have to be a different company.
Books, yeah, the same amount of books. I don't think he's thought this through. You're gonna run out of companies soon. Like, how many companies can you screw before they're like, hey? So his idea is he pays. He's out the money, but then he waits till he gets the item. He's like, this isn't right. And because it's overseas, the credit card companies are usually like, oh, okay, well, here's your money back. We don't want any trouble.
Listen, send me Cash's email. I got some questions for that, man. No, honestly,
this question was brought to you by the letter F for fraud.
Yes, right.
Hey, man, if it works for Cash, then there you go. If it works for Cash, then holla to him, But I like to get my books within 2 weeks, so we print locally.
Yeah. Cash, shame on you. Shame on you.
We'll see how long that lasts. Remember, I'm not sure positive, but I would imagine there's a statute of limitations of at least 7 years on that. So 6.5 years later, you might be in for a bit of a surprise.
Cash, think about it this way, though. You might be hurting you're getting books for free, but you are hurting other people who are printing behind you, because that printer eventually is going to start raising their prices.
He doesn't care about that.
No,
he doesn't care about that. If the printer raises prices, he'll just do it again under another name.
Here's the thing, printer or Cash, with printers overseas, especially in the Chi-Coms area, there's not thousands of printers. There's not hundreds of printers. There's maybe, this is a guess, 50 or 60, and they just change their name for something else.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the places that do manufacturing on Alibaba, they are giant mega corporations with multiple different names. All they do is they shut down one assembly line, they bring in a new crew, they tool up for another product or another print job under a different name, and they run it. So yeah, you're going to burn your bridges very quickly if you're trying to do this as a business model. And they all know each other. They all share business. Again, it's a communist country. They're not competing with each other. Yeah. They're getting allowed to do this by their government.
And a lot of them are co-owned by the government.
Exactly.
And you do that enough, might happen any day.
China's going to get a visit, or Cash is going to get a visit from China. But I will say this, guys, he is sitting on 10,000 books.
That's a
small.
That's a lot of books to sit on.
Yeah. Cash, I hope you can sell all those books. And hopefully your plan is, Cash, to the money you'll be swimming in from selling all those books to start paying your printers.
Make sure you put a little bit of that money aside, too, for the lawyers that you're going to need later, more than likely, as well. We're just trying to be helpful here. We're here to educate and to help you as much as possible.
This is Joe says, shaking my damn hand. I'm surprised the IRS is knocking on your door for this guy's information. They probably will eventually. Indie Vault, here we come.
Make it rain.
Oh yeah, and unfortunately, if he does get a knock on the door, he's going to be labeled a suicide.
Yeah. Well, stranger things have happened.
He's been red scarfed.
They're going to find him in a duffel bag and say it was a suicide.
All of these countries take lessons from one another, and they all talk to one another, believe it or not, and they all try to help each other out for matters of diplomacy. So you're not going to get too far.
He's you can't be stealing people's stuff, man. Can't be stealing. You can't be.
That's still theft and fraud. So yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's horrible. Randy.
That seems that seems a little sleazy all around. So I've had people. I had a great print on demand guy. Somebody come up to me and boasted that they shafted and that they broke them.
No.
It's like, motherfucker, you know.
Yeah.
I don't speak to that guy very much.
Yeah,
anymore.
that's. I messed up this guy's head,
Yeah, it's
man.
like, I made him reprint my book for free. Now he won't print anybody's books. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
not right.
Thanks, asshole. Yeah. That guy's no longer in the business, by the way. So
Are you
Saves him
pretending to be me
Lucky
tonight?
for all of us.
You got my icon.
looks better.
Who, me? Oh, yeah, it does look better. I took myself off screen for a second. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know how that. You've been tooling around StreamYard here and messing stuff up. I know you've been messing up stuff in here. It's supposed to be me or some of my art. How about yeah, I'll still be a woman, but it'd be a woman that I drew. How about that? Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. This one I can control. From Indie Vote Radio, and this is the last one from.
Do we have numbers yet? Are they still?
72888. So
we appreciate each and every one of you out there.
Good
morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world.
Who's our number one country tonight?
Right now is Egypt.
Egypt.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're probably wondering what the hell.
Yeah, these guys talking American comics. This is hilarious. Yeah. You know, there have to be people out there that look forward to us every Tuesday night just so that they can point and laugh.
Gosh, what sad people that look forward to this show.
Or quality entertainment. What are you talking about?
I was looking forward to this. What are you talking about?
There we go. Yeah.
Or all someone has.
How dare you?
I was excited for this.
All someone has. I know it. Now, Randy,
sir,
this one here, you will find very interesting. This one comes from Kevin.
Kevin,
mm-hmm.
Our friend Kevin Eastman. We know he listens to the show.
This is from Kevin, and Kevin says, "Damn, indie comics can suck my ass." He says, "I've backed over 70 different campaigns."
Oh,
sorry, let me bring my picture up. So
there you go, buddy.
I backed over 70 campaigns and have put them all lovingly in my fucking long box, graded by the CGC.
Cool. I hope you read them before you slabbed them.
Recently, I ran into money problems and went to a Comic-Con to try to sell the books.
Mm-hmm.
No one took shit. The local comic store told me to hang on the books for another 10 to 15 years, and maybe then they'll be worth something. By then, my lights will be off and my home will be foreclosed on.
Maybe you should buy less books and pay your bills.
Yeah,
maybe you should pay your bills instead of slabbing these damn books. That's what you should do. But quite frankly, it could be worse. You could be buying modern Marvel books and slab them. To see what kind of money you get out of those, buddy.
But wait a minute, are you buying indie comics as an investment?
I was just gonna say, man, the rule to investing is only invest what you can afford to lose, and I don't think he's doing that.
No. You got a long box full of indie comics, and none of them are worth anything. I mean, but that's
how did that happen? Since like the year 2000, from just about every company except for certain key books.
Well, okay. Let's face it. Indie comics are kind of like cars. Second you buy them, and they get put.
Second you drive them off the lot. Yeah,
and they begin to lose some of that value.
30 minutes or 30
until
feet.
They become antiques.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They said Comic House. He's hoping for the next TMNT. Good question. How does that happen? No.
Even TMNT took a while to gain value. So you're just I'm sorry, but you need to pay your bills. and then you need to worry about your collection.
TMNT did not take off until the cartoon hit, the original 80s cartoon, that and the toy line and all that once. And so that's licensing. So you need to be picking out people who are like building products to license, and not everybody in indie comics, I'd say a majority of people probably aren't coming into their property with, I need to make this a toy, a video game. We all have dreams like that, but is that like I'm developing this for this? Because you're hedging your bets, trying to.
That goes back to like the X-Men 1 that Jim Lee did, or Death of Superman. Everybody bought real hard into them, knowing that they're going to go up in value.
Yeah.
And it's taken this long for there to be even a smallest amount of value added to those books, especially slabbed. So I would suggest this is a nice education for you about the market, and that you listen to your retailer, you save those books for a while and see what happens. But in the meantime, pay your bills.
Yeah.
You might need to go flipping some fries here, or some burgers, and get this. They pay $15 an hour now.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's kind of hard to read books in the dark, bro. Pay your light bill.
There you go. Pay your light bill. Yep. Well, you can't read them at all. He slabbed them.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna get those open. Yeah.
You slabbed indie comics. I mean, I don't tell them other than keep trying. Try.
But you know what? We're giving him all of this advice now. It only takes one of those properties to hit, and they're all of our advice is right out the window, and he's paid for his freaking house.
Yeah, and it's even something like Cyberfrog. If you got issue 1 of that slabbed, and I'm talking about maybe even the Harris Comics release, you still are going to have to wait some time, because unless Eazy-E gets the licensing deal, he's still going to be just doing everything on his own. And it's not until the licensing deal, that's when the speculators at the local comic shop start to go, oh crap, I need to go grab a bunch of copies and flip them. That's when stuff starts to get hot, and you get the opportunity for being able to flip stuff.
Eazy-E is never going to get a licensing deal.
No.
Eazy-E is dead.
I honestly, if we're referring to Eazy when we say, Ethan, I honestly believe
just being an asshole.
I believe that he can make his own cartoon happen.
Oh yeah. At this point, yes.
He has a following. He has the backing. He's already, raised $500,000 for the action figures. If he really, really wanted to put his mind to it, he can make a season 1 of Cyberfrog happen. So
yeah. Yep. Very easily. Yeah. Well, he's already doing his own toys. He's already making money. He's done his own toys. He's done his own merchandise line. Can a cartoon be very far off? Probably not. So, but that's cool. But the problem at hand, guy, is that you really can't bank on any comic magically making money and magically affording your bills. So that just doesn't happen. And the reason why certain key books hit big is precisely for that reason. You can't predict this happening. If they could, everybody here would be rich, and everybody would know what the next hot book coming out was going to be. Your investment is a long-term investment at best, if that. And some of them books aren't going to be remembered 6 months, a year from now anyway. Just like everything else, all of the other comic product that comes out. You take your chances, especially if you're buying it for speculation. So you shouldn't be buying it for speculation anyway. Yeah, especially with these campaigns and that, people want to be read and enjoyed and entertained.
Also, didn't he say he backed 70 campaigns? So that's kind of like,
yep.
You're kind of rolling dice on that. It's like, how many of them are actually going to be great?
Well, with the way the email first started, I thought he was going to say I backed 70 campaigns or Kickstarters, and I only got 3 of them. So where is everybody?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised.
That's where I thought that email was going to go. But if you've backed 70 campaigns and you've gotten books to slab, I'm sorry that you've spent that money without paying your bills, but You might have an investment there. Something might pay off eventually, but it's not going to pay off immediately.
What's 70 times 25? If 25 is the average, cost to back a book. Poor money choices. That's what it is.
Plus having to slab them all.
Yeah, that's an additional 30 times 70 for the slab fee.
Yeah,
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee, like, because if it's signed, they might not even want to stand behind the signature unless you got a certificate of authenticity. And it's just it's a complete mess. Well,
we're sorry.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to learn to pay your bills.
Sometimes the best lessons cost money.
Yeah.
The best lessons are always the hard ones.
Let me play the intro for the Veil Walker here.
Alexander Salvador, the Grand Inquisitor, the Veilguard's greatest champion, stands as our only line of defense. This perilous journey will change him forever, and the fate of our world will rest on his shoulders. The dark fantasy will keep you turning the pages for more. Will Alexander be our salvation or our doom?
That was hot.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Veil Walk on the go.
Yeah, my editor really put in a lot of work on that, and yeah, we're pretty proud of it.
Tell us about it.
Let me let the pup out. Sorry about that. He was trying to complain. All right. So yeah, the Veil Walker. It's something I've been developing for a really, really long time. The idea first came to me in a dream when I was about 22 years old. I am 31 now, so yeah, about 9 years. And so the story is as follows, right? The Veil Walker takes place in a world where a very small percentage of people are born with something called the gift. And the gift allows them to cast magic and use their mana or spiritual essence to do so. And so in order to protect these people and keep them secret, about 500 years ago, an ancient cabal of gifted individuals, or what you might call wizards or witches, came together and formed the Order of the Veilguard. So their duty is, again, to protect these individuals, keep them secret, but also protect the realm of man from creatures from beyond the veil, which is another dimension that we would explore its origins in the story. So what is our main character's role in all this? He is the Grand Inquisitor. He is the leader of the Inquisition branch, which is sort of a military branch for the Order of the Veilguard. And the story begins when a Twitch streamer goes missing live on stream. And he has to show up and figure out what happened.
So now I was looking at this image here. I see that that's a different color cover option, correct?
Yes, that is a cover from George Fornes, who just finished his run on Rorschach.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But see, I like this one too. So I don't know, man. See, it's one of those times where you got to get.
Well, maybe Varian, he has a tier that you can get both.
Well, yeah, that's the trick. That's how they get
you. I'll do you one better. I have 2 tiers where you can get both.
Ah. I look at the art in this. Art is fantastic looking.
Thank you.
Now, did you have different artists work through different stories or different parts of the book?
So we initially put out a issue 0, sort of a proof of concept a few years ago, which is what's a little further down in the campaign. And the artists are exactly the same, except we lost our inker to Brett Booth and Spawn. And before he was just working on X-Men Legends. So we decided to keep the team as is. We went ahead with just our penciler and our colorist. So it does look a little different from the preview issue because we're, minus an inker. But we think we honestly believe it still looks good.
I like it. Their art looks real crisp. So Especially
And then
when
those are the pages with our inker from a few years ago.
yeah, okay. Yeah. Now, so you can get the issue number 1 with 0 as well.
Yeah, so right now there is a stretch goal where we would include the proof of concept at the end of issue 1 if we reach it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically everybody will be able to get it. But if you want, you can always just go to my website and get the PDF version of issue 0. That way you'll be able to see sort of, the layout, the paneling. Our letterer does some great work, and you can get a feel for what issue 1 is really going to be. Again, just minus the inks.
Yeah, that is some tight lettering. I can tell that he doesn't just use a bunch of free fonts off dollfont.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a industry veteran. I haven't said who he is yet, because since I joined, Comicsgate, we still haven't had that conversation. So we're keeping him under wraps for right now, and we'll see if he decides to put a credit on. But he will continue working with us. He's already said so. It's just, are we going to credit him or not? He's a good friend.
There's some stickers, some bookmarks been unlocked. I'm not seeing door hangers here. I have a door hanger collection.
Fetish.
Now. Yeah, it's looking at my fetish, and it's. I need door hangers.
Let me show you the bookmark. So it's bigger than my face, right? So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can cut out and make this into a door hanger. As a matter of fact, if you back the campaign, I will cut it for you.
Varian needs door hangers because he's a complete knob.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like my door hangers. It's funny, in my house, nobody pays attention to them. You can put something that do not disturb, and people will come right in. I had to put a nasty written letter on the door like, "Hey, dumbass, stay out before I get in." And then they get mad like, "Hey,
I've been to your house. You could duct tape and lock everything, and they'd be like breaking it down trying to get in."
So I used to have roommates, and I'll say this: I tried to figure out every possible way. This is years ago, to get my roommates from coming in the room. Let's just say when I had company, and it got to the point where I would legitimately hang their bras from the door, so they would get the point. But they would still come in and say, "Hey, bro, there's a bra hanging from your door." It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
What's this sign that says "Do not open door"? I'm with a chick.
Yeah.
What this?
Like, bro, really? So
yeah.
So yeah, roommates are disrespectful, man.
Yeah. I've never had my first roommate. Technically, it was my wife, I guess.
Okay.
And that's when we were dating, and I'm like, this is weird. I can't just leave and get. Normally, you get mad. I'll see you in 3 days. When they live with you, it's completely different.
You disappear for 3 days. There's some questions when you get home.
Yeah. I remember when I was younger. I was in high school, and someone tried to break into my ex-girlfriend's home.
Okay.
And she called my mother. And I'll never forget because I seen the phone ringing. I mean, I'm not answering for her because we broke up.
Right.
And well, yeah, and so she was like, "Can I come over, please? Someone had break into my house. My mother's out of town until next weekend." My mother, without even talking to me, let her come over for a whole week, and we had to go to school. So imagine me going to school with my ex-girlfriend. I'm driving to school every morning, and I am hot. I'm hot. I'm this.
Okay, hold on. I got questions for you, man. I got questions for you.
Sure.
How are you hot that your mom has let your ex-girlfriend sleep over your house for a week?
I was livid because I knew
why?
there would be answers. There would be questions at school. There would be possible.
That's every teenager's wet dream, bro.
No. It was.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, no.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. When we're off air, I'll tell you about what happened afterwards. Pretty funny. But well, it wasn't funny then. But it's funny now. The wife thinks it's funny anyway. But no, yeah. We should call her Veil Walker. I mean, should have called her because that's her. I only have eyes for you. Lies. I seen this piece earlier. Now this is a character from the book, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh
sir.
crap, that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's caught my
Her
eye
name
earlier.
is her name is Samantha Redcroft, and she is one of the gifted individuals and Alexander's protege. So she is a vital component to the story, and yeah, she's pretty cool. One thing I wanted to do with my characters is bring sexy back, cool and sexy.
Mhm.
And I created, I'm totally straight, but I can say I'm pretty sure Alexander's considered sexy in many circles. So, that's what we wanted to do. Just cool and sexy, man. And that image that you guys were just looking at,
Mhm.
as you can see right there, is actually one of our stretch goals. We're creating a playing card game based off of the rules and the universe of the Veil Walker. And we're actually opening the game up in the future to other indie creators because there is a lot of crossover potential built into the Veil Walker, magic, dimensions, and whatnot. And we're going to open up for other creators to create their cards with their own characters on their own campaigns. And hopefully, we get enough people with enough cards that we can start playing pretty soon.
Oh, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to say up front, I would be doing that at no cost or no profit for myself, right? The creators just need to hit us up. We'll give them the rules. We'll help them develop the characters' attacks and points in case, so we can avoid them going too crazy.
Yeah.
And really, that's all for them. That's for them to put it on their campaign and just roll with it.
There has to be some checks and balances in there, otherwise,
Exactly.
make the character overpowered. And I remember some customized hero clicks that were like unbeatable. People that made their own, and so you're cheating. Your character's getting strong every time I hit him. And people would go in and do like really minute details of those things. So it's cool to see people making card games and tabletop games. Really,
Yeah. As you guys mentioned earlier, it's all about taking these IPs and these products and just building and building and building. So
yeah,
that's what we want to do. We want to start early.
Now, this particular book, now you're on Indiegogo. So I mean, how many days have you been up?
I think we're at 17 days now.
Okay,
so
we
had a 30-day campaign.
17 days left. You're already way past your goal. You had a fixed goal of 500, but you're at $1,606 right now. I'm sure you'll get some more backers too.
Hopefully, when we close out. Yeah. So my goal with this campaign was really just to get it to as many people as possible. Right. The book was funded. The art was pretty much already done. Right now, we are finishing the last half of colors. My colorist has a deadline of October 1st. Campaign closes on the 8th. Our PDF is going to be going out the week after the 8th. So, October 10th and moving forward. And I actually plan, so far as of right now, I think we're going to be able to do it. Have the first couple hundred books in people's hands by Halloween. Because we're going to send to print right before we end the campaign. So we're not going to wait for the funds to hit us in late October. So by the time the funds, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Something I want to bring up too, because it's a 25-page book.
Yeah.
And you're not charging a whole bunch. I mean, $5 for the PDF, $8 for the main issue. Plus
$3 shipping USA.
Yeah. It ships worldwide too. So a worldwide audience, you can make him really, really regret putting that up there. But he's prepared. But yeah, I mean, look, you can get the specialized covers 12. There's a foil cover. You can get both covers at 25. So they're priced very competitively. They're not
very
super
reasonable.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, my goal is to just get it to as many people as possible. People are taking the chance, right? I am an unknown commodity. I am not an industry veteran. I am a new writer. This is a new IP. I didn't want to make people have to consider is like, are we really going to take a chance on this? I made it as affordable as possible. And again, we did the same with the shipping, and hopefully my goal with this campaign was to build an audience, get as many people interested in issue 2 as possible, and hopefully launch issue 2 on October 31st. So we're rolling, we're moving quick. We're not getting any younger.
Yeah,
That's the truth.
Yeah.
and yeah, the art in here looks good. Even the black and white art looks really good. Might be one of those line variant comics that be released at some point.
We'll consider it.
And you guys got 17 days to go over there. Possible extension, or you don't know yet?
No extension. No extension. Again, I want to have this book in people's hands by Halloween.
All right, so yeah, you got 17 days, folks, to get over there and back the Veil Walker on Indiegogo. That's the Veil Walker, VEILWALKER, #1 over on Indiegogo. 17 days left. Look, you can get the PDF. You can get the PDF for as little as $5. There's a foil Inquisitor pack. You know how I love my shiny covers.
Yeah, actually, I have them here, bro.
Uh-oh.
We did a test print, and we actually have a video on the campaign as well. But I have them right here if you want to zoom in.
Sure.
So we got this.
Look at that.
Right, I got some funky lighting going on in here, so it's kind of hard to really.
No, that looks sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes Varian an investor right there. He's going to back that campaign
He-
just to get that cover.
Successfully been
Oh, that's
baited.
awesome too. Look at
That's
that.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I want that one.
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
the second you put shiny on the cover, I'm there.
Yeah, look, I grew up in the Pokemon era, right? The Pokemon cards. I wanted all the shiny cards, and we're gonna be running shiny covers on all of our campaigns. I really like how they look. One of the things that we're doing with the covers is making sure that at the very least we have at least one that really, really looks good and shiny. So, we're working on it. But yeah, just for $50, you can get both of the shiny covers, which are $25 each. So basically, for the price of the 2 foil covers, you're also getting 2 playing cards, which are the Alexander and the Veil Walker playing card. And you're getting this pretty gnarly Veil Walker insignia pin, which you also have available here. So you're basically.
Let's see that pin.
Let me see if I can get it in focus. Here, I'll play with the focus here.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
nice. Good.
Yeah, and funny story about this. Well, not little Easter egg. Everything in this pin is an Easter egg for the story moving forward. So you'll notice a few things. You might already notice one that's very prominent. So yeah, it's I'm really proud of it.
Nice title for a comic book from Sarah.
Sarah just got here, so you might want to scroll down on that campaign again just to show off the art.
And then Drawn Talk says this cover looks great. Yeah, he's got 2 different covers, and there's one, and there's another. Those cover images. And you can get him in shiny, and the art inside is fantastic.
Get them in shiny.
Just goes to show you, I bet I book nothing but the best for this show.
I was going to say, this is another one of those campaigns we love having on because it's so good. You get on here and you take a look at the campaign, you see how professional it looks, and it's one of those books you just have to back when you see it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. We put a lot of work into it, and I would say this isn't even my final form. We are going to get better and better from here.
Nice.
The art is going to continue to get better. The quality of everything else is just going to get better as we roll, and who knows, depending on how the backers continue to roll in, we're trying to do this monthly. We're trying to drop floppies every couple months. Once we finish this particular arc with Alexander and we drop our hardcover volume 1 collection, we're actually going to go ahead and drop a different story as well as we continue. And every time we finish an arc for Alexander, we're going to drop a new book. And hopefully, sometime in the future, we're running 30 campaigns in a year,
Cool.
And that's really the goal.
Cool. That sounds. Well, we'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Oh, another pin for Van Grant's hat. Yeah, another pin for the old raccoon cap. So funny. I went to a Comic-Con last weekend and no one recognized me because I didn't have the hat on. So, yeah, unrecognizing is great. Folks, get over there and check this out. I'm gonna back it, and I want because I also want to see this.
That's hot.
I want to see this issue 0. That looks gorgeous. I bet I printed. It's gonna be fantastic. Got a couple days. Help them get past the $2,000 limit so they can get that landscape print unlocked as well as the community brochure. Lots of fun stuff coming. Still time to get in there.
Very, and I can actually show you a preview of what those preview pages look like when they're printed.
Oh, look at that!
So
Nice.
we're doing we're doing the newspaper print, or kind of, sort of, making sure it's nice and soft. Let me see if I can get it in focus. Right
There you are.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
this is what you guys can kind of.
I'm jealous of that. I'm jealous of that. That doorknob scene. I got a doorknob in my comic, and I'm like, yeah, I talked about door hangers earlier, but I got a doorknob in my comic, and I think it took me 3 hours to get that doorknob the way I wanted it. So
Yeah, you mean that one right there?
Like that. Yeah, yeah. It was pretty much like that, and I'm like, there it is. I finally figured it out. There's a doorknob.
I appreciate if you're saying that you basically are using ours as reference, then you're welcome, buddy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back and like read mine. Randy knows I redo a page quick.
Yeah, it takes him a year and a half.
Yeah.
So Jad's amazing. He's an amazing artist. During the campaign, leading up to it, we had some health issues in the group. We took a little longer than we wanted to, but yeah, man, he's great, and he's been an absolute doll. So hopefully we can continue working together, and yeah.
Cool, folks. That's the Veil Walker, Indiegogo. Get over there now. Back it. Randy.
Sir.
Indie Vote Radio. And you'll appreciate this one. So yeah. This one is from Merrick, Merriuk, and he wants to know
Merriuk.
Merriuk. He says, I've been trying to break into comics since the 60s. Okay,
Give up.
I've been trying to break into comics since the 60s. Why'd you do that to yourself, Merriuk? I've been unable to so far, but every couple of years I get very, very close. A couple of different meetings, some dinners, some lunches. Nothing over the last 2 years since we've been locked down. But I'm getting to the point where I'm getting older. I can't see as well as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel as well as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Is it time to maybe let this go, or should I keep striving? Now, this is where it gets interesting. I have no real interest in working in the indie community, as I feel that most of my life's work has had me following the exploits of characters with Marvel and DC. Those are the characters I want to work on. And that's it. From Marie. Basically, Marie's way of telling us, don't tell me to put my own book out by myself. I don't want to do that. I want to work for Marvel and DC, damn it.
Marique, if you're in the US, you're probably in for a nice uphill fight. Now that you're as old as you are, Marvel editorial has passed through about probably 5 generations of artists to minimally. And every time you take somebody to lunch, that person's probably gone within 6 months at this point anyway. You really have to decide for yourself how you're going to proceed. If you're not feeling well, it's hard for me, too hard. Yeah, it's hard for me to understand why you haven't been printed yet, why you haven't gone out and looked at the indie, if you don't want to work in the indies, why you haven't developed your own icon and gone out there and done a couple of test books in order to show the talent up there at these larger mainstream companies that you're capable of doing the work. I'm not sure. I don't know the level that you're at or your aptitude or skill level where you're at, but you've been doing this since the 60s. You probably know more, probably twice as more than anybody that's working up there at the offices now. I stopped trying to do proposals in 2003 because I realized that the editors that were there were never going to hire me, not because of my lack of age or lack of experience, but because I knew more than and had read more than what most of these editors were aware of up there, and that is intimidating to them. A lot of times they want to work with their buddies, they want to work with somebody that they can lord over and run over. And when you get to be our age and have been in this business that long, you probably know, like I said, 2 or 3 times more than the editorial staff up there does already. You should really consider doing your own work, getting something out there and printed, and getting a footstep in the business, because quite frankly, the mainstream ain't mainstream anymore.
Mhm.
The Marvel and DC, even the corporate bosses have dismissed Marvel and DC to the point where they're letting the inmates run the asylum, to say the least. And you have a lot of people up there in those companies that want to do nothing more than deconstruct and tear down all of those icons and role models that you and I grew up with. That's why you get Captain America working for Hydra, and all of these characters swapping illogically their gender preference or whatever. And you get the sloppy writing that's up there, and the terrible drawings that are up there now. You should decide whether or not you want to do something in comics. And if you decide to do something in comics, you're probably going to end up working independently and in the alternative market, or what they consider to be the independent or alternative market now. So I wish you nothing but the best. I do understand that hope of being able to work on these icons, but in my mind, all of those characters that we grew up on, that we read, that we loved, that we wanted desperately to continue the story on, or the tradition of the superhero or the heroic role model, are long gone. I consider all of my superheroes dead at Heroes Reborn and Crisis.
Mhm.
And and I've said that a number of times here on the show. And since then, they've just been replaced by soulless zombies. And you'll get an occasional good story. You'll get an occasional great bit of genius, like Watchmen, or depending upon your taste, Dark Knight, or Frank Miller's work, or whatever. But the days of the great superhero books at those companies are gone, and you're seeing it be resurrected now in the alternative and independent market, especially in a lot of these crowdfunding books. So you need to go out there and expand your mind a little bit, and decide if you want to still stay in this wonderful art form. I hope you will, because you probably have a lot of experience. I'd love to see some of your stuff, because if you've taken a lot of these editors over the years out for lunches and that, you probably know a lot about the business. So I wish you nothing but the best, but it might be time to take a second look at what exactly the mainstream is, and it might not be to your liking anymore.
Yeah, I think that you may be fighting to get into an industry that may either not need his talents, or they won't respect his talents once he gets there.
It is. I think it's a matter of respect. They don't care how much you know. They care how pliable you are, and whether or not you can work for $35 a page. You know.
I wish I was paying $35 a page.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, you go in and see that. I've told this story before. I got offered an internship at Marvel back in the 80s, and when I found out how much it paid, I literally laughed in the guy's face, because they wanted to pay me $9,000 a year to move over to New York City. And this was back in the mid 80s. I laughed. I said, "No fucking way, I'm working for that much." I said, "That's impossible. There's no way to survive on that." And then he's like, "Well, you can get an apartment and move it." I said, "Even at that price?" I said, "No."
They were expecting you to live in the gutter.
They still expect you to live in the gutter. And even after you're working for them on a regular basis the whole time. The assistant editors up there are pulling down, what did they say, 32, 33 a year?
Jeez.
Yeah.
That was
I made more than that when I
hit
was
the news
18.
a couple of months ago. You're literally working for it's literally a slave market. It's what it is, because you're working at below living wage, doing work, and they always have taken advantage of people like us because we get in there and we're doing what we love, so we can take the abuse. You know, we can live on ramen if we're drawing Spider-Man.
Can we? Can we
No,
really?
I can't, but that's just me. After a while, I just threw my hands up in the air and says, hey, you know, indie is where it's at for me.
Yeah.
But that's where I got printed. That's where I get my respect and where I have the most fun, especially in the independent and alternative market, because you can say anything. This art form is wide open.
Drawn Talk says, or maybe he isn't good at being creative because he can only
Maybe.
he's only in other people's he can only play in other people's sandboxes and can't create his own.
I mean, I'll say this. I find it quite difficult to play in other people's sandboxes.
Yeah.
Right? Creating something legitimately entertaining while you have other people's rules and lore to sort of build off. I actually find it easier to create your own stuff and make it more interesting. I'm not sure how many manga readers there are here, but that's one of the reasons I think manga is constantly continuing to sort of shift and put out new hits, because they're brand new sandboxes, they're new universes, they're new characters. I think it's something that's not happening in the mainstream, right?
Well,
the new characters that they're trying to give us are pandering and are horrible. So, yeah.
Well, I love making my own sandbox off of somebody else's sandbox. You know, I've got characters out there where, for example, I'll sit and look at the Punisher and I go, that's not realistic. If the Punisher was in real life, this and this and this would have happened. And that creates a whole new IP, whole new creation for me. You just don't use the same name. You use the same basic concept and build off of that and create your own unique property.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear that rain behind me, can you? It's hitting the sunroof.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Skylight. Okay, I'll read this from Indie Vote real quick for you guys. Randy, you'll definitely enjoy this one. I got a war wife. That's when you're afraid you're gonna die overseas and just take the first person with a pulse and a decent smile. I got screwed by the soon-to-be ex-wife who reported my crowdfunding earning to the IRS. I got the audit slip 4 weeks ago, and they informed me Friday that the investigation has a target end date of September 2024 due to lack of workers. Pay your taxes, especially if you got a team or a jealous ex-spouse.
We've had that question before and fielded that question before.
We had one like it.
You can't. There are certain things in this life you just can't fuck with, and one of them's the IRS.
100%.
You know. Plus, you really need, anybody in this business needs to run out and get themselves a good accountant. It doesn't have to be a big accountant. It just has to be somebody who knows the tax law, that's not getting paid probably by a corporate boss. Don't use the corporate tax fill out companies. Find yourself an accountant that specializes in small business, because that's what you are, and have them do your taxes for you. But don't ever not report income. Don't do it, because it will come back to haunt you. That's just like that guy burning bridges with his printers. That all of what he's doing will eventually come back and find him, whether he thinks he's getting away with it now or not. It's gonna find him. So, and the same thing goes with the IRS. You might get away with it for a year or two, but they can go back on your taxes now, who knows how far, and do audits. And once they catch you doing something once, they're going to go back and ream you all the way through.
Yeah.
So I learned that rather painfully. I didn't record a 1099 that I didn't get. And luckily, it wasn't that big of a 1099. It still cost me $1,000 in taxes and fees and penalties and interest.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the IRS. Get yourself an accountant. And
I was just gonna say. Oh, sorry.
Sorry about your spouse. Anyway.
I was just gonna say that the only organization stronger, more important in the Order of the Veil Guard than the Order of the Veil Guard is the IRS.
That and Disney lawyers.
Oh,
Don't screw with Disney lawyers either.
aren't they one and the same technically?
No, not really, but same bulldog tactics. Though.
Let me see here if I can find this.
But also remember, if you have a good accountant, you can balance your losses with your gains. That's why you want that accountant, because you want to make sure you pay the fair share of taxes on your profits. And if you're in this business long enough, you realize the profit margin is very small. And once it stops being very small, you really don't care how much tax you're paying on it anyway. Make yourself a good living, and whatever your accountant says you have to pay, you just pay. May we all be that comfortable.
Speaking of money, I've just been told that there was a big art sale this week. I missed out on the X-Men number 1 1991 cover was just sold.
X-Men what?
X-Men number 1, the 1991. There's that Jim Lee version.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The cover was just sold. Buyer didn't disclose how much they paid, but the rumor is they weren't entertaining offers under $2.5 million.
Dang.
That was the big gatefold fold-out cover, though, with every X-Men character on it, drawn by Jim Lee.
I believe so. Like, was it the whole? I'm trying to find out. Like, was it the whole cover? But there are people who are upset. By the way, they're upset. They said, "Fuck that." You know who those people are, by the way? These people that said, "Fuck that. It shouldn't be sold. Take it from the guy. It belongs in a museum."
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yep, that's what's being said. Don't buy it.
Listen, to those people saying that, go find the thickest foil you can find and sit on it. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yo.
Go look up the word capitalism in the dictionary. Jesus.
It's evil now. It's evil. It's, I don't. If the person bought it, they can do what they want. They can wipe their ass if they want to.
Yes.
I think it was a comic book store that was selling it. The guy was a comic book store owner or something.
Probably, yeah.
And he was the one selling it. Like, that man basically just is set for life now,
Yeah, yeah.
There's that classic story from 2 or 3 years back where this family was losing their house to the bank, and they were clearing out the attic, and in a chest of drawers they found a stack of old Hollywood movie magazines, and they went through and was flipping through them, and an Action 1 fell out.
Yeah.
And they literally had a caravan, armored car, and a couple of motorcycle guards drive the thing over to be graded, and then over to Heritage to be sold. So you had all these headlines: Superman saves family home.
Wow.
There was a girl on Facebook. She went over to her uncle's house. He passed away. And she's got a stack of comic books, and she's taking pictures of them, and she's putting them up on like Marketplace that she's going through. And he's like, "Anybody interested?" And she's got Hulk 138 like on her lap, and it's sitting on her lap, and I'm like, "Where is she? Tallahassee? That's too far for me to drive." But yeah, I mean, some people are finding these books, and a relative put them up. I've got the first Killing Joke because I walked into a comic book store with my father, and I said, "Oh, there's the Joker. I know him. It's a Batman book. Can I have this book?" My father was like, "This book is," I forget how much it was, but even at that point, it was expensive. And he's like, "Yeah, go ahead. You can have it." And I remember taking that book home, reading it, not understanding what I had read, because I was like 7. But every year I would read it again, and every year I would understand it a bit more. Oh, now I'm growing. I'm like, that Joker is a nasty motherfucker. My son asked me, "Can he read?" I'm like, no. Plus, that's an original copy. You can read one of the facsimile copies I got around here somewhere.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, do you still have that original copy?
Oh yeah. I have it up. It's not slab, but it's in a bag and board, and it's, I pull it out and
graded
look at
it yet?
occasionally. No, I haven't graded. I don't know if I'll ever grade it. I feel that I might lose friends if I start grading books.
That was millions that we're talking about, Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Let's see. There's Niobe Comics in the chat. Sarah, all the armored vehicles, etc. for a comic book. I realize it's a major book, but that's mind-boggling. Hey, they got to get that Superman from point A to point B, man. They can't.
They had to take it to be slabbed and graded, and then to the auction house to be auctioned. So,
I would wonder though, would you, if you were the artist, would you be a little upset like you're not getting any pushback? I gotta say, who sold it? Like, did Jim sell it, or was it a comic shop owner?
It was. I remember seeing it before it went up. If we're talking about that sort of long shot where at the very end it's Magneto with the shield.
Yeah.
It was a comic book store owner, or he had some type of shop that was selling it.
Yeah,
so I'm guessing Jim Lee sold the originals long time ago before it even went up in value. So I'm pretty sure Jim Lee is biting himself in the ass right now, or kicking himself in the ass. Like, I wish I would have kept that.
No, all of that stuff, they know all that stuff goes up. It's just whatever you can get for it at the time that's the value for it. And Jim probably got a premium price for it because it was already going to be a hot cover.
I wonder, Randy, if because I've seen some Jim Lee art. I've been in the room with his originals, and I remember looking through them, and they're not priced because if you have to ask, you can't afford it. And
but again, to go back with that, those people were saying originally, you better believe that that's probably going to end up under a frame if it's not already. I'm sure it is, and on display somewhere for people to see. It's just somebody's going to own it.
Yeah, the person who owns it can make money by loaning it to museums. That's how a lot of these collections are formed. Hey, you give me X amount of your box office take. Yeah, I'll let you tour it around. But I mean, I've got Stan Lee's autograph. If it ever got to the point where someone wanted to, like put it up somewhere, you'd ask, hey, okay, well, I want $5 a month. Although there's so many Stan Lee autographs out there now, it's probably,
They tanked. The last few years of Stan Lee's life, they really tanked the value of his autograph, to be honest. Which is unfortunate, but
but there's nothing like going to a museum and seeing a display of comic art. That's incredible. If you ever get a chance to do it, do it.
Yeah, that Marvel, the History of Marvel tour that travels. I forget where they're at right now, but it's worth it. I would say go now, go in the beginning, and then go toward the end when they're getting ready to close down, because you have a big appreciation for it. Seeing the art up front, up close, that classic Spider-Man, he's holding Gwen Stacy's body in his arm. He's got his fist out. Originally, he had his fist stretched this way. You can see the blue line on the board. He had it stretched out downward, and they changed it. And I thought that was really cool to be able to see the blue line work on there. And I'm looking at all these other fantastic artists, and I'm seeing blue line on the page until you go over to Kirby stuff.
Yeah.
And there's no blue line. There's no line. It's like he started, and like they said, he started in the left corner of the page and went down. And it's something to behold. If you get a chance to go to that, definitely pop over there and check it out.
Kirby was a machine.
Yeah. Not like me. Well, actually, I am on a
real workhorse. Yeah.
I found that when I'm medicated, Randy, I'm pretty good. I can sit at a page and look at it like this. Oh, yeah, I know it needs to be done. So you guys keep me on THC, and I can draw.
We'll be taking donations to get him more THC.
Yeah. Super chat team for more THC. There you go.
Yeah.
I'll just get THC booster shot. That's what I do.
We haven't had a super chat in a couple weeks. Come on, folks. We can take super chats over on YouTube right now.
You can join the channel and get free art from Eric.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
We're still waiting for the first person to join to get that sketch from Eric.
Yeah. Look at the man. The man's in a hotel. He wants to draw for you.
There you go.
Yeah, it could be something that's like, even this cool.
Yeah, there she is.
That's awesome.
You know what? I remember getting to a fight with a kid in school, and it resulted in fisticuffs because he said that we're drawing Street Fighter characters, we draw everybody, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Ninja Turtles, and he said that Chun-Li's leg. First of all, he called her Chang-Li. That upset me. Number one, he called her Chang-Li.
Chun-Li?
Then, then he said Chang-Li, she tans just her legs because the muscles are so powerful. That's why her legs are brown.
Dumbass.
And I'm like, no, she's wearing tights. No, she's not. That wouldn't even make sense to fight in. I'm like, it's not supposed to make sense to fight in. It looks good. Leave us alone. But yeah, I remember that. So every time I see Chun-Li, I think about Chang-Li.
Chang-Li and her tan legs.
Yeah. Oh, this kid used to piss me off. What did he have for name? So, well, I mean, you could say Ryu. I mean, I know it's Ryu, but Ryu is fine. He used to say the Oslum, not Dalsine, the Oslum. Like, the Oslum, are you having a stroke?
I hope you guys aren't friends anymore, man.
No. He would say Gully. Man, let me run Gully.
Who the hell is Gully? Is it Guile?
And it's like, you don't read books often, do you? Because
I don't think that boy read, period.
Yeah, that's Guile. No, it says Gully. No, Gully would be Gully. I don't understand. Zangief instead of it was I remember his name, his pronunciations, they would just always irk me. It was like he'd come over and I mean he knew Vega, but everybody if you mispronounce Vega, that you're just an idiot. But yeah, the Oslum, Gully, Chang-Li, Ryu, I think that's it.
Why you?
So let me ask you something. You possibly got in a fist fight with a kid who had a speech impediment.
Well, yeah. Well, the fight came about when he asked me, could he borrow Super Street Fighter? And I told him no. And he said, you a punk. And he snatched it out of the Super Nintendo without hitting the eject button and threw it like by my bed. And that's when the fisticuffs broke out. And there was an exchange of fists.
Good. So it wasn't because he had a speech impediment.
No. Like, hey, you talk for no.
Okay.
But no, Eric, that I know that again you got a Comic-Con. You're going to be in West Virginia this weekend.
Yes, West Virginia.
Yeah.
Mountaineer Comic-Con.
Almost heaven.
West Virginia, place for lovers.
Country roads, take me home.
They I'm interested to know if like I know you found that kind of last minute, but are you have you been there before?
No, never been there before. So it's always exciting to bring my giant trough of wrestling and anime art to a new area, and you hope that you dominate and you put everybody around you out of business, but
I don't know, man. You go to enough shows where I believe that people see you coming and say, "Oh, there goes all the money out the room."
I'm trying because I used to feel that way about our friend Terry. I was
I was gonna say you're the white Terry Huddleston.
I'm crap. I'm starting to do better than I thought I would, and okay, let's just keep this book going.
Yeah, here goes all the money. Eric's here. His wrestling art, and the weird thing is, I've seen other people do wrestling art since, and I'm like, hey, they're ripping off Eric. Well, okay, when I see people do that classic cover stuff, I know where that came from. I know where that came from.
Yeah, I got my copycats, and they're not as good at it. So,
is there any artist, and this goes for everybody, writers or artists, is there anybody that you've stolen from, that you maybe, I don't want to say you stolen from, but like you totally ate their style on a commission and kind of felt bad about it, but like if the person loved it?
No.
Because all I ever,
I didn't feel bad about it at all.
He's like, I've done it plenty. I don't feel bad about it. There's one person who I draw a lot of influence from, especially right now, is Junji Ito. But I'm personally not an artist. I am the writer. But what I like to do is try to set up that page flip.
Mm-hmm.
That page flip reveal that Junji Ito has in his manga is absolutely amazing. So, even though we're writing and drawing comics, we're really taking a lot of influence from everywhere. So, So yeah, do I feel bad about it? Hell no. I'm just making my book better for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I will admit to there's a couple of what's his name? Kenichi Sonata, guy who does Gunsmith Cats. I have stolen his structure for car chases because he does the most. I've never seen an exciting car chase in a comic until I read that manga, and I'm like, why am I on the edge of my seat for a car chase in a comic? And I realized, like, I started studying what he would do because his book is all about guns and cars, and these two police ladies, or I think they're like investigators. Oh, I think Riley's she's a bounty hunter. But it's a very interesting manga, and the animes are cool too. But to read a comic strip with a car chase and be excited about it, that takes skill. So I will admit to in one of my books, aping the entire car chase, I was like, I'm not going to try to compete with that. Not when I can steal what he's done, and I didn't steal it, but I thematically timed mine to line up with his. And that's just me showing some, tip of that. Matter of fact, one of the streets they cross is his name. So that's me saying, look,
see that? Perfectly legitimate then.
Yeah. Still like an artist. There it is.
There you go.
Yep. I've seen that book at FedEx office. Yeah. Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
You. Yep.
Turn your mic on.
Quasi? Or you can't. Yeah.
Maybe he can. It doesn't look like he's muted here on this end.
Let's see.
Nope, can't hear you.
Might be his earbuds.
Oh no!
You might have knocked your microphone or something.
Got some technical difficulties.
Those earbuds out. Sometimes they.
All right, so let's see. Can you guys hear me now?
There you go.
Yep.
Now we can hear you. Oh, couldn't even use this card yet.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? He's got his buds up.
No.
Yeah, we can hear you fine. We can hear you, but you can't hear us. Let's see here. I'll tell him in the private chat.
The internet's broken.
We can hear you. Let's see what happens. But no, but I've been asked to do commissions of like people like, hey, could you draw me Fritz the Cat? Could you draw me, Supergirl? And I usually ask them, well, what Supergirl do you want? And most people, they want that Mike Turner one with the belly shirt. So, okay, and I'll draw it. If someone tells me they want it drawn like Mike Turner would draw, then I'll do it with my best Mike Turner profile I can possibly muster, which is me anyway. So, I just, but if someone comes to me and says they want a Raina Zimmerman spank, I can knock that out too. I've mastered spanking it quick.
You've mastered spanking it quick. Good for you.
When it comes to aping styles, there's a difference between, taking something from a specific person and then what would be known as a house style. Now, for like a house style, you're looking at like the Disney princesses. There's been probably 10 or 20 different Garfield strip artists. The artists for anime, they have to adapt to the style of the original creator when they're doing adaptions. That's different than like, oh man, I love that doorknob stuff that Oasis Comics has got going on. I'm just gonna like ape that whole scene there. Those are two different things.
Yeah. Well, there's also like sometimes you just want to play with a different style.
Oh yeah.
You look at it, oh, that looks fun. I'm gonna try that.
I mean, I love it.
You just
I'm the
want to
type
play
of
with
person.
something else.
Shut up, Kristen.
I'm the type of artist that I don't really consider myself to have a style, even though people say, "Oh, I can tell that's your style," because I can draw in so many different styles. I'm drawing an anime for Genuine Comics, the American Bliss book. I'm totally aping a '90s style, so I'm trying to do all the little flicks and stuff, and kind of teaching myself to draw in a way that I haven't tried drawing in since I was a teenager, because I was all up ons with Rob Liefeld and McFarlane and all them when they were hot in the '90s. But then I stopped drawing like that, and I started focusing on, people with like anatomy skills like Bart Sears, Joe Jusko, some of that stuff, and kind of started playing in that playground. I really got obsessed with the anatomy, which is something that I have to break my habits of when I'm doing a manga style or if I'm doing like this '90s comic style, because you really have to break those rules to get that the real squash and stretch, the real dynamic posing, the forced perspective stuff. In a real situation, it doesn't look as awesome as if you can just do something, with like crazy angles and stuff. So it's been a lot of fun for me to get back into the '90s style, so I can get the American Bliss book to look a certain way. But then I'll turn around and I'll be like, I've got VA voice actor artists that work on prominent shows. One of them is he goes by Ninja Mac on the Twitters, but he's a prominent voice actor. He does Yuji for Jujutsu Kaisen, and he's got a new role in a show called Tokyo Revengers, which is really, really good. And I've just finished binge watching that show because I'm going to try that style out and do a character for him so that he can have something at his table to sign for his fans.
Yeah.
Mic check, mic check. We back in business.
Yeah,
you're good.
are.
You're good.
You are there.
All right.
I think that sometimes I just want to play off a style, and it's like, okay, well, this person did this. I don't mean to rip you off, but sometimes, I don't know but if I see someone doing it in my style, it depends on what they meant by it. If that's all I seen, I'd be like, hey, buddy, slow down here. What are you doing? But otherwise, yeah, go ahead, have at it, make some money. You made it when you got clones.
Oh yeah.
And Randy, final question of the night that came in, and you'll laugh at this one. And this one is from Brian and Sasha. And Brian and Sasha would like to know how much money should they save up to start their first publishing company.
Wow, that's a good question.
How much money can you get for in your house?
Yeah.
I think to start any successful business venture, you need at least 10 grand to start with. That's just to start. You're going to need some sort of liquidity to keep that going. So hopefully, if you got a really good day job, you got a good budget where you can keep dumping money into it. But yeah, just to start, at least 10 grand so that you can cover your bases with marketing materials and some, maybe if you're initial hiring talent, you'll need to have and that's just for the business. If you've got a book coming, you need to separate a budget for that too.
The key thing here is to do your research, and you're going to have to work that out in your business plan. And you'll have more of a grasp of that the more you learn about the business. Because if you're, there's all sorts of different ways anymore to start a publishing company. You can do it inexpensively by just doing print-on-demand books and crowdfunding books. And then you're setting goals, attaining goals, and working up nice and slow. It's pretty much what all of us are doing And most of the returning crowdfunding people are doing. They're working on starting small and working their way out larger, or you can just run headlong into it, and that's going to take a much larger budget, and you're going to have to be able to take a hit for 6 months to a year before you're going to see any kind of profit back. But the best thing I could recommend for you to do is to tell you that that's a really good question, and to do some research and decide exactly how you want to be and get started in the business. And then work your way out from there, build up a business plan, and please, please, please don't go into this without knowing what you're doing.
Had some money saved up.
Ding ding.
And yeah, have some money saved up.
There'll be and shop around even when you do start. The first deal, the first price someone gives you might not be the cheapest or the best. Try to minimize overhead as much as possible.
And with current conditions, these prices are shifting constantly, and they're not going down, not for another couple of years. So be prepared.
Yeah, good to be broken. Sorry, I'm sorry. I just get so emotional thinking about it.
We're always reminded of those immortal words from Mr. Jack Kirby. Kids,
Yo, he
comics
has
will
some
break your heart.
swagger. Can you pull that up again for a sec? Look at that turtleneck. Look at the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
I'm
dressed to go.
Jack is the type of guy that
But Jack was the kind of guy who stayed in his house most of the time too, and worked. He worked.
You see, but I know that, but then I hear the stories, and all I can think about is every Scorsese, Joe Pesci scene while Nick Kirby.
Yeah.
Walk in, like just whooping ass around the Marvel office, like this little violent little. That's probably where Wolverine really came from. They probably making fun of Jack. They don't make him little.
What's the attitude of the Thing in the Kirby Lee books? That's Jack right there.
Yeah, I don't know.
The cigar chomping, the ever loving, blue eyed, kick ass attitude. That's what Kirby was.
Yeah, I don't know.
A visionary and probably the biggest creator with the largest imagination out there. Because some of his stuff, when it come out in the 70s, it was the most wackadoo, insane crap you've ever seen in your life. And then 10, 20 years later, you go back and you look at it and you go, holy crap, that's ingenious. Just amazing, amazing stuff.
That's what they'll say about me. That's what they'll say. I can hear them now. Varian Grant.
Well, just think about the New Gods, a fourth world, literally a chessboard, because this guy had created everything. I mean, he even created romance comics in order to keep himself working and his family fed. New Gods is a gigantic chessboard with pieces on both sides, good and bad, Apocalypse and New Genesis. You had your king, your queen, and all of your pawns lined up. And I'm sure if he had time to do more with that title, and Mr. Miracle, all the Fourth World books, Forever People, that he would have just had these characters bumping into one another constantly. He had notebooks of characters. Mm-hmm. That's why when he left New Gods, he created Eternals. Yeah. And he literally created New Gods after he left Thor and the Inhumans. He just had books filled with pantheon god names and character sketches and just crazy stuff. They were making books off of his work long after he had passed. The Topps Satan 6 is a prime example of that. They're just going through his notebooks and going, that character looks cool, and we can do a book on that. Just who comes up with devil dinosaurs? Who comes up with OMAC? Just nobody works like that anymore. We all should, and we should be trying. Definitely, because that's the shit that sparks all of the imagination out there.
Let's go around, let everyone know where they can be found at. We reached the end of our show for today.
What about the thing we talked about?
Oh, we're gonna do that on next Tuesday because I got those actual awards coming.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to message that to you earlier. Yeah, we have one more award to give out. It's not officially Indie Vote Award though. It is an Indie Vote Award, but it's not from the show. So,
Oh yeah, you did say you were going to do it this Tuesday, but we'll do it. You'll do it next week then.
yeah, next Tuesday, and also once again, congratulations to all the winners who and the nominees who are part of the show. We appreciate it. We're gonna do it again next year from a live location. Hopefully, but we want to thank our sponsors and everything. It was a really great event. We had a lot of fun, and here's hoping that we can bring it back with the grand vision we had for it this coming year.
Yes,
Absolutely.
We'll start with our guests. Where can they find you at, sir?
I keep it pretty simple. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Oasi Comics. That's OASI Comics. And then we also have our website, which is oasicomics.com.
Cool.
And folks, hit Indiegogo out there for Vale Walker, and go and check that book out. Definitely check that book out. And like I said before, it's one of those titles, like we found here so many times before, that when you go over that campaign and you see how professional it is, you read the description, you're going to end up backing that book just because it looks so professional. So go over there and take a look. Vale Walker, #1 over on Indiegogo.
Thank you.
Gorgeous looking book.
What is this bell?
Yeah. That's Randy's point bell. Whenever someone's made a point, Randy hits the bell.
That's so I don't have to interrupt everybody and go, good point.
Yeah.
What's our final numbers?
Right now we are at 92,177.
See, that warrants a bell right there.
Ding, ding, ding.
We appreciate everybody out there listening on Indie Volt Radio, no matter where you're listening from.
And how about you, Eric?
Well, I can be found at Dreaded Dinosaur on all the social media accounts that matter. Twitter, Instagram. Let's see. You can also get to my Facebook page from there, and you can go over to Webtoon or Tapas. Look for Dreaded Dinosaur Man over there. Read that. You can go to the Pro Wrestling Tees website and grab one of the last few remaining copies of Roddy Piper Kilted Avenger first printing, which the second printing had some changes due to some contractual errors. Not errors, but contractual disagreements that happened after we went to print. So the second printing is a bit different. So if you want to get that first printing, make sure and get over there and get the last few copies, because they're the only ones that have any. I don't have any. Dom doesn't have any. So head over there, please. And you can find me back here again next Tuesday. Or if you are in the West Virginia area, Southern Ohio area, I will be at Mountaineer Comic Con this weekend.
Sweet. Mountaineer Comic Con. You'll have to let us know how that goes.
I will.
Cool.
Miss Lola.
I am everywhere. So if you want to track me down, go to Linktree Indie_Princess, and you can find all my links there. And Geekgasm is coming back tomorrow. I have
Sweet.
Dustin Burnell is coming on tomorrow to talk about his campaign.
Awesome.
And hopefully Daphne will be on to talk about her campaign.
Lola's been so tired. She started to give up booking and everything else. She's like, everybody else can do everything for me. Screw it. I'm not booking my own shows anymore. She's like me. It took her a lot longer to get here to me though.
I booked tomorrow's show.
Well, you book things so erratically. I don't know.
Keep telling you got to learn to delegate authority.
Hey, I get it done. I get the job done.
Get it done.
Leave me alone. What I'm doing is working.
I wasn't complaining.
No, I'm talking to him.
Oh.
Yeah, I always got to complain.
He's always complaining at me.
I always got to complain. Yeah.
But the job gets done. No matter how I do it, it gets done.
Yeah, well, the quality afterwards sometimes can vary. Mr. Zim.
You're sleeping on the couch.
It's fine. It's fine. Hey! We paid the very best for this sofa because I knew days like this would come.
I paid the very best for that sofa.
That's right. That's why it feels even better to sleep on.
You didn't have to pay for it.
That's right. Didn't have to pay for it.
Hey, everybody! You can find me, Randy Zimmerman, on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. I'm on Twitter under Randy Zim, though I don't go over there very often. You can look for Arrow Comics 4.0 through Linktree, and we have an Instagram, a Twitter page, and a 2 pages over on Facebook. Arrow Comics 4.0 and Friends of Arrow Comics 4.0, where you can learn more about what we're doing for the direct market with such titles as Only Death Can Save Us, HeroBot Zero, the Indie Volt Revolt anthology, which we're especially proud of. I'm putting the 3rd issue of that together now. Can't wait for you to see it. It'll be available shortly for the direct market very soon. And just go over there and take a look. And other than that, you can find Varian and myself back here Thursday morning for the Breakfast Buzz at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then again, most Sundays, I run a program called the Sunday Funnies on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. where we talk about the more fun and whimsical side of comics, put the fun back in funny books. But this Sunday, very likely, we will not be on. So you can look for us the Sunday after next to resume Sunday Funnies at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then again, all of us will be back, maybe even a Veil Walker there next Tuesday here for the LiveWire program at 9 p.m. So I might have to be out of town this weekend, so we won't be able to do a Sunday Funnies.
Yeah, it'll be a cool show next Tuesday too. Stephen, welcome back. Got a couple other guests that I think that we can.
We do want to keep apprised of your campaign. We want to know how you're doing.
Thank you. I mean, we'll schedule it out. I'll be more than happy to come on and appreciate the invitation.
And then, guys, of course, online you can find me KYD_V. Varian Grant pretty much on every other social media network. Make sure you check out lastcallcomics.com.
Sorry, Tyler.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about doing a recorded program because the wife honestly we need to get away for a little bit, so that's what's I might not be around Sunday morning. And you don't want me to do that by my phone because it's just not going to work.
No. Also, let me see here. Let me go through CrimeCon 17 this weekend. Event Pops Van Zandt. CrimeCon 17 is this weekend. This is on that shit, Randy. And there's Drew on Talk, getting us some suggestions of which books should be picking up. But yeah, so find me all over those fine places. Listen, guys, if you want to send in a question to get read, it's easy to do that by emailing us at IndieVoteLive at IndieVote.com. Include IndieVote Live in the subject, and please keep those emails to 90 words or less to make sure that they are, read, and I can put them on those nice little cards, and we can pick on you and all that fun shit. And maybe you care to listen in. IndieVote, the IndieVote Radio, the app on Google Play, Streamer, and Alexa. If you have an iOS phone, download the Streamer or tune in app to hear it. You can also visit IndieVote.com. There's a player in the middle of the page. Lets you listen in live to IndieVote Radio, as well as make some song requests at given times. Check that out, IndieVote.com, and download the app, IndieVote Radio on Google Play, and tune in. And then, if you don't like the radio, because maybe you're just like, I'm above the radio. I like pictures that move and talk. Well, on the Roku, you can download IndieVote TV. We got some independent content up there, some long-form content, much like this video, where when YouTube used to say, hey, you can't say that on our network, we take it over there, and we laugh at them. They didn't have the power over there. So check that out.
You have no power here.
None. So check it out, IndieVote TV on Roku. It's much, much more entertaining than Marvel comic with 19 word balloons and no background. I'm just saying, we've all seen the picture.
You counted them all, didn't you?
We all read the lecture.
Oh my God. It's not just the amount of word balloons, it's the crap that's in it. So, hi. You don't want to tell a joke.
Yeah, don't tell jokes, kitty.
Don't tell jokes. Don't have a sense of humor. Don't take it Don't get a thick skin. Anyway,
And-
Hail Creators Outlet.
and Peter's getting older and Kitty's getting younger. Maybe that's the way Peter would like it. I don't know, but it's just
Uh-oh.
you know, yeah, it's like
They did that, from what I understand, they did that because Kitty's starting to appreciate the female form, apparently.
of course. Well, that makes sense. Well, that's been my Marvel bitch box for this week. Thanks for joining us.
Bitch box. I was going to say before we leave to remember the immortal words that Marvel told IDW when they told them that they had Heather Antos to edit their new Marvel and Star Wars line.
What was that?
Oh, hell no! I'll take this out.
You forgot about Liberty.
Oh yeah.
Don't ever forget about Liberty.
Check out Liberty Entertainment Distribution, helping you get your independent comics in comic shops across the nation. That's Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group. 100% fill rates, no fees from publishers. They don't take any fees, and they offer ship to shelf service, so the books come bagged and boarded, as well as Liberty Pledge, meaning if you're a retailer and you can't sell that book, Liberty buys it back from you. Go check out ledg.us today.
I'm gonna have to holler at Liberty.
That's right. I'll send you over there. It's an awesome company. Happy to have them be sponsor as well, only because I own them. So it's great. It's great.
And again, before we go, we want to remind everybody of the immortal words of Mr. Jack Kirby, who said, "The audience is always there, and comic books have yet to reach its full potential."
Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby.
Because this is a special episode of our comic Law and Order comic industry unit, I have to end it correctly. But this, just we have to figure out a way to end the show so I can put the cue card up. But
should we remind everybody about Pitches Be Crazy?
No. He'll be doing a live one this weekend.
No, never mind that.
Yeah. He'll be doing it. He got a twist for it this weekend. We'll talk to Brandon about it pretty soon.
Okay.
Probably Thursday.
Oh, he doesn't know it yet, but he's got a twist.
Yeah, he knows about something that's twist. I don't put words in his mouth.
Okay.
So here we go. I'll take us out. Unfortunately, does anybody know where Heather Antos is working right now?
Oh, well,
Starbucks?
she was working at IDW. I don't know what she's going to be doing tomorrow. But...
Well, here we go then. Here's why we're in the cue card. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Stay safe, everybody.
Should be ashamed of myself.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
How can you close me up? On what ground?
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
You're winning, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody out at once.